Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the North East Non-League Show, episode 60. We're going to be chatting about Spennymoor tonight. Welcome to the show, and obviously sponsored by DJ Private Hire, Gateway Accountancy Services Limited, Elite Goalkeeper Academy, and Motive 8. Joining us tonight, we have two Spenny fans, Dan and Dezy. Lads, thank you for coming on the show tonight.
No bother.
Cheers, thank you.
Remember doing the show at the start of the season, kind of obviously what expectations were and what we're looking forward to, but I don't think we expected this much news in so much short time. Over the last 3 weeks, so lots to talk about. And before we get on, obviously the main show plan tonight, obviously breaking news today, Mark Anderson leaving the club. Start with yourself, Dan. Just your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, I think he's a legend, isn't he? He's one of the best players to pull on our shirt, whether it be United or Town. His quality just speaks for itself. But away from the field as well, he's a top lad. Yeah. He's one of them you can go and talk about anything, and always had time, always had a bit of crack, and just the way that he plays the game is quite special.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, Des, with the comments on the Facebook and obviously Twitter as well, I imagine sitting reading through all that night, it's all just positive and kind of thank you towards him, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you read all the comments on social media from ex-players, managers, current players, you just see the love he's got. And like Dan said, he's a legend at the club. Never scored tap ins. Every goal he scored had to be 30 yards as well. He'll be missed. He's irreplaceable, really, because technically he's the best player we've ever had, considering the level we are.
Yeah, massive miss. Like I say, interesting to see what happens over the next couple of weeks if any players coming in to replace him as well. But like you say, come back yourself, Dezy. I mean, before we kind of chat Spenny, I mean, how crazy was that week of managers kind of getting sacked or leaving the clubs over in that league? It was bonkers, wasn't it?
It's mad, isn't it? When you think all four North East teams literally get rid of the managers within a week, wasn't it? Really, it's crazy. I mean, you could maybe see Darlington's from a point of view. I don't think Josh Gallen was ever the right person for Darlington, but that's not for us to decide. But good, don't like Darlington anyway, so I'm not bothered.
And I think as well, Dan, I mean, looking at the four obviously clubs that managers go some massive jobs for people, but was there any real shocks looking at them kind of when you expect that? Wasn't it really seeing that manager leaving?
I think Fenton was probably the big one. Archer as well was a bit of a shock. I'm with Dezy on Josh Gallen. I just thought it was a strange appointment for Darlington. His track record wasn't particularly great at Hereford. I can see why they maybe brought him in. He was working on a bit of a tighter budget. They thought he could maybe do the same there. But it was a strange appointment for me, that.
Yeah, great one. I think with all the managers going at one point, it was straight away. It was like that manager will go to that club, that manager will go to that club, like a merry-go-round, which didn't happen in the end. Which was quite good as well. But Dezy, I mean, starting with Spenny, the 30th of December, the news breaks, Dickman departs. I mean, what was your first thoughts when you seen the statement?
Well, it was a strange one. The timing of it, really, it was. We were actually on our way home from Charlie on the bus at the time, and then it just sort of come out that it'd gone. It was the timing of it was all strange. I mean, football's about results, and results haven't been great. But you've got to give the lad a chance. He was ill in hospital. But what could he do? But the timing of it was very strange for me.
Yeah, I think looking at it as well, Dezy, I mean, obviously for the managers that was going and turning around, a lot of people have kind of said, right, they're looking for a manager, and other teams might panic and sack their manager in case they go for someone that they want in the future. Do you think that was a part of the reason as well at that point?
Possibly, you never know, but people always put two and two together. You think, oh, well, we've got rid of ours. We're going to bring in Fenton. We're going to bring in Archer, etc., etc. So, like you said, the merry-go-round, but that never happened, and we've obviously brought Graham in now, so we move on.
Definitely. And what was your thoughts, Dan, when you first seen or heard about as well?
Yeah, same as Dezy. It was strange. I think, like Dezy said, the results weren't there, but I don't think we were playing all that bad. I didn't think the performances excuse me. I didn't think the performances were too far away. I think we just didn't have any luck. We just needed it to go in off someone's backside or just that little bit of luck in one game, and I think we probably would have turned it around. But like Dezy said, football's a results business, and the results weren't there. And Lou's a top lad as well. He was another one that had all the time in the world for a year. he'd come and he'd talk to you regardless of the result or anything like that. And whichever club he does end up at, they'll be getting a very, very good coach.
Yeah, it was a difficult time from when Chandler left, wasn't it? Really, that obviously Andy and Lou come in. Louis then took bad, and Andy sort of took over. We didn't have any luck. We weren't a million miles away. We were playing good football. We were just unlucky. But unfortunately, we just didn't quite get the results we wanted. So that's the way it goes.
That's it, isn't it? And I mean, start with yourself, Dezy. Obviously, when the manager goes, you turn to kind of who's going to be next and who's going to be through the door. I mean, looking at it straight away, who was your first thought, or who was the people that you were kind of linked with that you thought, yeah, I'll take a risk on him, or I don't really fancy him? Who was the names that kind of stood out for you first?
But that's straight away the obvious choice that people were banging about was Fenton. Because he's done a decent job at Blythe. He did okay. He's got a good track record. And then obviously Spike's name come up. Well, he did a good job for Hartlepool under difficult circumstances again at Musk. Did a great job at Musk under difficult circumstances. Really, there wasn't many other people that was in the frame. Alan Armstrong always gets brought up, but I don't think he was ever a realistic target for us anyway. So, yeah, I'm happy with Graham, to be fair.
Yeah, and yourself, Dan? I mean, obviously, who was the front runners in your head?
Yeah, exactly the same. It was. I thought we were daft if we didn't go after Fenton, to be honest. But after hearing a couple of things and maybe why he was put on garden leave by Blythe, and maybe he wanted to go back into youth football or whatever it was that he decided, whichever role he decided he wanted to go down. But for me, I think Spike's a great appointment. I think he's got a bit of an affiliation to the club with his dad managing us 20 years ago. And I think he's worked wonders at Mascot. I really do. I think obviously under real tight restrictions and knowing what's going on in the background and still be able to motivate the lads like he did down there. I think he just needs a little bit of time to put us right and get us playing the way that he wants us to play. And we've seen improvements in that over the last few games. So yeah, he's definitely the man for me, I think. But I've been asked this question 2 or 3 times when I've been on here, and I've made myself look brilliant. So.
And Dezy, like you say, the 2nd of January, Graham Lee was announced. Are you happy with the news yourself?
Yeah, happy. Like, again, same as Dan, really. It's I think he's, like I said before, he's done a great job in his previous appointment at Musk at Hartlepool. And he's a local lad. Obviously, the affiliation with his dad being manager here. His brother Tony played for us years ago as well. So he knows what the club's about. It'll take time, as it will do, until he gets his own sort of players in, gets his own system, works with the players we've got, but it'll come good. And I think we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And like we said there, Dan, obviously Dezy mentioned, and I mentioned in the video I did as well, the previous clubs he's been at Hartlepool under some, obviously, what was going on there in the background, as always at Hartlepool, then down to Marsk, obviously struggling financially, and obviously he had to do a lot of things off the field, even trying to bring a sponsor himself to try and keep the club going. I know he's got the Borough Academy as well, but it must be nice just for him now to put everything in the background, let other people deal with it at the club. He's 100% focused now on that football pitch, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think let's not beat you on the bush. We are in a little bit of a perilous position. I know we've got a couple of games in hand, and this league's just as crazy as it normally is. But yeah, it will be nice for him, I think, just to almost have the external pressure off, and he'll have his own. He'll have his own pressure in his own environment, and he'll want to get things out the players that maybe we haven't had out of them in the past. But in terms of how he wants to play, I think he still needs another 2 or 3 weeks on the training pitch. It's obviously been a part-time club and only training once, maybe twice a week at most. It is going to take time, but at the minute it's maybe looking like we haven't got all that much time, and results do need to pick up.
Yeah. And before we get to the decision, I just want to say a massive again, thank you everyone that's watching. What's your thoughts on the appointments and how Spenny is doing this season? Get them in the comments as well. And Des, before we chat about Leeds' first games at the club, what was your thoughts just on the season in general so far this year?
Well, it's been a roller coaster of a season, hasn't it? Really, we've started like a house on fire. We were unbelievable. I think we were definitely second, possibly even top at one point.
Yeah.
Then obviously, then Chandler went, and obviously, like we've said earlier, Louis took bad, and things have just steadily went downhill from there. Really, we've never really picked up. But I think with Spike and Clark coming in, they'll turn us round. We'll see the season out. Then I think we'll go again next year. But it's been proper up and down. We've had some really good. But regardless, we'll still go home and away with the lads every week, and we'll get behind 110% regardless.
Yeah, definitely. And like we said I think on the show in the summer, Dan, I mean, looking at the last kind of 5 or 6 seasons, you always see Spenny playoffs are above all the time, and obviously last season around mid-table, that late push of it towards a playoff. But it's kind of different looking at it now. They're not up, obviously a great start of the season, but they're down in mid-table now. Do you think, as we've just been chatting before we come on the show, things are kind of changing now, obviously with my new manager coming in, players possibly leaving, coming in the summer contracts? I think it's that little change that's needed now, do you think?
Yeah, I think it was always going to come, wasn't it? It was, I think now out of that team that made the playoff final, I think we've only got 3 players left. So it is a little bit of a changing of the guard, if you like. But yeah, it was always going to happen. All good things come to an end, and players move on, and players' personal lives and circumstances change. And it takes a lot to play at the level that we are. It's a really, really good level. And the work that players need to put in, and the sacrifices that players need to make, and it's becoming harder and harder. They need to take more time off work. Like we said about just before we came on, we're going to have to go to Bishop Stortford on a Tuesday night. And now I know South Shields did it, but South Shields are a full-time club, so they can factor that into however they want. Our lads are probably going to have to finish work at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at the latest. We're going to have to set off at 1, and we're not going to get back till 4 o'clock in the morning, and then they'll be back up for work at 6. It's but that's the way of the league. And I just think this next 6 to 12 months is a massive transitional period for us, and we need to do it right, because this league's unforgiving.
Yeah, it is 100%. I mean, looking at the first 3 games in the league, we'll give you a couple of games each, and then obviously look at the last one as well. I mean, start with yourself, Des, in the 1-0 loss to Brackley. Always, like you say, a strong side in this league. Obviously, new manager in charge, and it's always hard to put that stamp on the first game and expecting to play a certain way. You never ever get that the first game. I mean, what was your thoughts on the 1-0 loss to Brackley?
Yeah, I didn't think we played badly. It was just the look. Brackley basically come once they got their goal, they sat back, which is what Brackley do. Brackley's done it for years. They're good at it. We were unlucky on the day we hit the post. I think it was Danny Greenfield hit the post, but we played really well. We were just lacking that little bit up front, but I think we're missing Glenn. But anyone who misses the top scorer in the league for 5 years, anybody's going to miss him. So the football's there. It's just that little bit of magic or luck, I suppose, in the final third. We're very close. One off the backside goes in, and we turn it around without a doubt for me.
So you just need that bit of luck, don't you? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the next game, Dan, and 1-1 with Scarborough, and I think everyone favouring to play them at the moment with obviously Rutledge, the form that he's in. I think looking at Rutledge as well, do you think it's one that you could have possibly went for? Obviously, with Taylor being out injured, I know he's hitting the goals for fun now. Gates are not recalling him. To end up 1-1 draw with Scarborough was quite a positive result in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think with regards to Rutledge, I think we did make a bit of a move for him. But obviously it didn't work out for whatever reason, and he's been banging them in, hasn't he? I think he got another 2 last night. But yeah, it was a really good result for us. And again, it was a decent performance. You think when they go 1-0 up, you sort of think, oh, here we go again, and all that. But it was a game that I wasn't at. I was at work, but I was sort of watching it on National League TV in the background at work. But yeah, it was a great point in the end. And I think if anybody had said or offered us a point before kick-off, I think we'd have snapped the hand off. I think it's a really good, realistic point.
Very good. And Dezy, the 4-3 loss to Russia, like I say, when goals are flying in that, anyone just takes the win of the day. I mean, what was your thoughts on that game?
Well, the best way to quickly describe it would be we've given ourselves a mountain to climb. We've climbed to the top of the mountain and then fell off it. Basically, we've got a habit at the moment of giving teams a 2-goal start. But from our point of view, defensively, there were 2 poor goals to give away. But from 25 minutes onwards, we were by far the better team. And we got back to 2-2 and you think there's only one team going to go on and win this. We were by far the better team. We were pushing, playing good football. And then all of a sudden, one direct ball down the middle caught us wide open. Again, poor from our point of view defensively. It sort of killed us. And then again, the lad heads in from a corner in the last minute unmarked in the 6-yard box. But again, for 60 minutes of that game, we were the better side. We are showing the good bits, but we just need to stop. We can't afford to give teams a start, poor defensive goals to give away. If we sort that out, which we will, like once we get one win, we'll kick on. I have no doubt, and we'll go on and run 3 or 4 or 5 wins, and we'll make ourselves safe. I think it might be too late for the playoffs, but I think we'll make ourselves safe without a doubt.
Yeah, it's always close around that mid-table area, isn't it? A couple of wins, couple of losses, you're up there, you're down there. All of a sudden, it's very close. I think we'll be like that till the end of the season as well. Just teams picking points up all over. You've got to prove yourself here, Dezy. So Chris Burchell saying, Dezy, that's a background behind him, not a weight bench.
Get yourself back to work. Shut his gob.
Ian and Chris, and even up the Mariners as well. Thank you for watching us on that one. And to yourself, Dan, obviously new manager come in, new players, new ideas. Dan Myers come in and really play. I really rate. I think he'll have a great future in the club and not just football and just in general. Donald Chamalio comes in and Jordi Mongo from South Shield as well. Do you expect more to come in, obviously, and possibly a few more going out over the next month or so?
I think so, yeah. I think obviously with the news of Sparky going today, I think that might free up a little bit of money in the budget wage-wise to bring somebody in. I still think we need another strike. I think we are striker short. Jordi Mongo, he's come in, there was a bit of a mixed review from South Shields fans, to be fair.
Yeah.
Some were happy to see him go. Some were saying he should have stayed, and so he looked all right when he on Saturday. I think especially when he went out wide, he looked a little bit more involved. But again, it's hard to tell off one game, isn't it? It's all 3 of them making their debuts on Saturday, and obviously it would have been nice to get another game under our belt last night, but the good old weather put pain to that. So we'll see how they get on Saturday. Hopefully, if it's on.
But on the plus side, like going back to like you said, the game call off last night, it gives them more time to get to know each other better on the training ground, I suppose. So you got to take that from it. I suppose they've got more time to get prepared for Saturday because it's hard. I suppose it's hard to do the tactics when you just playing without actually getting on the training field as much, if you know what I mean. But obviously, choose to be followed to get that extra time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. I mean, we were chatting about obviously players that might come in and stuff on Messenger and obviously you're looking now in clubs in like the Northern League and like you say, splashing all these wages on obviously record, bringing them 4 players in from Arsenal. We were talking about Adam Boys and stuff like that. I mean, do you think a striker is a must at the club now, Dezy? Do you think? Yeah,
I think, like I said, I was there on Saturday and we just sort of like Dan Myers really looked decent at left back. I think he only get better. Chamalio, come on, he didn't really get much service. To be fair, it was a bit of a cameo appearance. And like Dan said, Jordi Mongo didn't pull up any trees up front. He looked probably better when he was out wide on the left second half. But then we pushed Robbie like Rama up and sort of as a number 9. It just proves really we need an out and out striker, somebody who can hold the ball up. I think that'll probably be the final bit of the jigsaw. Like, so I think over the next week or so, I think we might see a striker coming in. Like,
yeah, fingers crossed. Like you say, probably that wage budget now, you'll be able to bring them players in. Tony's just saying there, how far away is Dezy? That's from Tony.
He's still in
tell him not as far as we're Stephen Joblin.
It's very fun, Chris. All right, lads, missing everyone. Still in Holly, not too long to be back. Last year, missing his Tamworth away. Chris set up his camera in the brewery field, and I was sat outside the Moors Tavern. Good comments coming in. If you haven't already as well, lads, please hit that subscribe button as well and help the channel grow as much as you can. And finally, getting back to yourself, Dezy, and obviously sitting 17th at the moment, like I say, starting to drop down a little bit. But I think now, obviously, once you see you get that little bit of luck, that first one on board, there's still a chance to challenge for the playoffs. Like I say, there's always that one or two teams where they'll just go on this mad run between now and the end of the season, and they'll just end up there like you did last season, pretty much. I mean, what's your thoughts kind of on the season going ahead now?
I think, personally, I think we'll struggle to make the playoffs this year. But you can never say never. That the last two seasons we've been out of it, and it's gone literally down to the last 10 minutes of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was last year or the season before. We were fourth in the 90th minute of the last game of the season. And then a couple of teams scored. We finished outside the playoffs on goal difference. It's crazy. I think we've left ourselves probably a little bit too much to do this season to get the playoffs, especially with new manager coming in, obviously transitional period for us as well. So, I mean, it's still on. We get one win, you get two. You never know. It could snowball into a... I'd love to see us do it, but I think I'd be happy if we finished top 10, to be honest, this season now.
Yeah. And yourself, Dan, same question?
Yeah, I think that's realistic. I think if there ever was a team to do it, it'd be us. It'd be the most Spenny thing ever, wouldn't it? You know, to go on a run of 8, 9, 10 games unbeaten, and then all of a sudden find ourselves in and around the mix. But yeah, I agree with Dezy. I think we've left ourselves a little bit too much to do. Top 10, top 12. I think I'd be more than happy with. Have a good positive summer, sort of steady the ship a little bit in terms of stability. You know, we've got to remember that all Spennymoor has ever known for the last 15, 20 years is stability. And now over the last 2 or 3 years, all of a sudden we've had 3 or 4 managers, and you know the turnover of players has been quite high for considering we had a pretty settled squad for 6, 7 years. But yeah, I just think this, like I said earlier, I just think this next 6 to 12 months is a massively important period for the club.
But when you think we a little team in County Durham, when you think some of the massive teams we've got in our league, the likes of Hereford, who are getting 2,700 fans, Chester City, the ex-Football League clubs, a lot of people don't even know where Spennymoor is. So we're punching above our weight. So we're proud of where we are. So to finish 10th is still an achievement in itself.
Oh, it is 100%. Like Chris just mentioned there, missing the going away with the lads with the games, can't wait to get back and have a few drinks on his birthday coming in February. Bishop started away on the Tuesday night, just been on about that as well. I know it was great to see, obviously, the pictures that they're travelling down. I think it was on the away days and stuff like that. The picture got shared everywhere. And I was taking the mick out of Daz. I said, you've always got some food in your hand.
I should have copyrighted them pictures. I took them.
I was going to say, it was absolutely everywhere, but it was nice to see. Get the word out there and get the name out there. Someone goes, hold on, who's Spennymoor? Like, as you mentioned there, a little team in County Durham. Oh, hold on, who's Spennymoor? And it just takes that one picture to go, oh, we'll have a look on the website, we'll have a look on Twitter, on Facebook, and the followers and the likes, and it's just unbelievable what something like that could do, isn't it, as well?
It is. I mean, you know, we're never going to have a massive following. You know, we're a town of 20,000 people. To even to get an average of 1,100 at home it's unbelievable from where we were. You know, playing in front of 100 people, even just 13 years ago, to now being where we are. It still makes you proud, you know. And I know people can come on and say, we've had this money, Brad's pumped this money, Brad. Yeah, he has. We don't deny that, you know. We are not naive enough to think that it's going to last forever. You know, it's not. So we've just got to enjoy it while we can.
Yeah, definitely. I'll just take that one fan. I know me team leader at work. He's a Newcastle fan living at Spennymoor, and he says he's just a walk distance. We've never been to a match before, and I just keep drilling this non-league stuff from at work. And I think he's going to come down over the next couple of games, just come and watch a match, and like you say, he'll just take that one game, and he'll probably never go up to Newcastle game again after that, will he?
Yeah. Make sure he buys a half-time draw.
So I'll keep eyes out for you. But no, lads, thank you honestly so much for coming on. I think we're back on the end of the season, like you say, hopefully going over a nice end of the season. Never know, possibly playoffs, but like you say, just bit of stability going into to next season as well. But we, like you say, wish you all the best, very best of luck for the rest of the season as well.
All right, spot on. Cheers, Rainey.
Can we just say thanks to Sparky for his service to the club over the years as well? Been a fantastic club.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Whichever club he ends up at, I'm sure he'll flourish wherever he ends up, as long as it's not Bishop.
Yeah, somebody's going to get a cracking lad and an even better player, aren't they? So good luck to that for the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Great player. And tomorrow night we're back at 9:10, Stockton Town special. We've got the club ambassador, former Premier League referee Jeff Winter coming on to talk about Stockton Town. Like you say, doing really well this season, top of the league, and looking like they're going to be getting promoted as well. So lots to chat about there. But again, thank you everyone so much for watching again our shows. Like you say, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, like this channel, getting it shared out, join our Facebook group. We really appreciate support as always. But again, hope you all enjoy the rest of your night as well.